Good afternoon, YouTube. So, another viewer's question was, can you explain your experience for your first demonstration? So, what was my first demonstration? Mine was in my hometown, Harlow, and I was attending very regular circles. So I would do one on a Wednesday, then I'll do one on a Monday, and gradually it built up and built up and built up. And they always tried to get me to do like at the front. Come on up, you get do your demonstration. Wasn't interested. Didn't want the platform, didn't want the attention. Certainly not something I wanted within my mediumship. I was doing it because I was hurting. I needed to understand where the spirit world was, and for those of you that have got my story, you'll know that I lost my sister when she was 18. And so this process for me was, it was a very selfish act. It was something that I needed to understand where she had gone, why, how, etc., etc. And so I started development for mediumship just through the research of, I hope she's gone somewhere, I hope she's okay. And so this, it grew, and before I realised it, it became a passion. You know, it was like, wow, this is amazing. And it has really, really helped me understand me as an individual, the grieving process, and obviously this whole new world that I had found, the spirit world. And so through this process, it was kind of like, I need to tell people about this. I can't believe this is real. This is something that is actually tangible. I can feel it. I can see it. I can sense it. I just know it's there. And so gradually, I started to want to tell people. I wanted to not like, check me out, look, I can do mediumship, blah 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 blah. It was more of, this is amazing, and if you've lost anyone, this can really help you and your grieving process. And so the development sort of picked up, and I started to do it twice a week. I think at one point I went to like 3 times a week, and in between that I was, you know, buying books and trying to understand what was going on. And so it became more and more passionate. I just thrived off it. It was just more, I wanted more and more information. And it's like any passion, isn't it? You just want to do more and more and more. And before I realised it, I started to become quite accomplished at being able to communicate. It seemed evidential, it seemed like it was going well, and it seemed like it was growing. You don't recognise that in yourself, but you hear it a lot, you know. You've really come on, you're really doing this, and so on and so forth. That's another video, does my mediumship improve? I'll have to do later on. Anyway, back to my first M, and they tried, my circle leaders, they tried to get me on the platform, and they tried to get me up at the front, but I wasn't interested at all. I would attend very regular demonstrations, so on a Wednesday and a Sunday, certainly in my local area, there would be a divine service on a Sunday, and on a Wednesday, usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there would be an evening of clairvoyance within reasonable driving distance. And so, because I'm learning, and because I was growing a passion for this, I would attend the ones that, if I had a free evening, I would go and watch these people, and learn what to do, and certainly not what to do. And gradually I grew more and more in my mind of understanding, and what you should do with an audience and what you shouldn't do with an audience, and so on and so forth, you know, and in that process have a greater understanding with me and my team and the relationship I was building. But still weren't interested for the front. I just weren't, it weren't my thing. I enjoyed watching it, and I wanted to feel the spirit world. And I gradually realised that I'm not feeling the spirit world in a demonstration the way I was feeling the spirit world in my relationship with them, with my team, my loved ones, so on and so forth. And so when I was attending these demonstrations, mainly Sundays, you know, I do still enjoy a good divine service. I do like philosophy, and I do like the way it's presented. And sometimes you have a sing-song, Some of them are updated and some are very old-fashioned hymns. It's your own choice, really, and dependent on my mood is dependent on what I want to be singing along to, really. But anyway, I turns up for my first one. I wasn't booked. It was just a normal Sunday. I was going to a demonstration in my local spiritual church. And one that I had a little bit of conflict with, I felt judged in the room, I like to wear a beanie hat or a tracksuit, be casual, and when you work for the spirit world, it tends to be like, at least wear a shirt and a tie, some trousers and some shoes. It's not across the board, people don't do it, but for me, it's presenting your spirit team, your relationship, and the spirit world to an audience. I just feel like there's something in the dress code there. And that's just the way I think. Anyway, so it started at 6:30, and at 6:20 I was sort of like checking my watch, like what's going on. It's like 6:20, and I haven't seen the medium who's on tonight, and I don't remember the name now. And I was clock watching. I could see everyone was getting flustered. I could see, like, the committee, which I now know, were like the chairperson and the people that help organise the church, get the chairs out, get the teas and that ready, and still no sign of the medium. So I was like, oh my God, what are they going to do? What happens in this scenario? I just don't know what happens. I've never seen it happen. Why would a medium not turn up? Turns out it's quite popular, but anyway. So I thought, there's 5 minutes left, I'm going to shoot to the loo before this service starts. We're going to be in here an hour and a half, and I'll quickly go and have a toilet break. So I shoots to the loo, I comes back, it's like 6:27, 6:28, and there's no medium. It's clear the medium ain't turning up. And then I always attended these events with someone, so like, do you want to go to a service? Do you want to do this tonight? And go with someone. I felt awkward going on my own. I'm not like that now, but certainly needed someone beside me when I was attending the services. And then I remember like 6:28, 6:29, and it's so clear in my mind. I still remember the dread that come over me. The call out went out, like, right, okay, it's the medium's not turning up. We've had no phone call. The medium's not here right now. We need like a plan B. Do we have a medium in the audience? And I remember like checking it out, like looking around, like who's gonna put their hand up? This is like, is there another medium in here? And my friend put her hand up. I was like, oh my God, are you off your head? What are you doing? It's like, you never sat circle. You have never, ever done it. Why on earth have you put your hand up? So the chairperson leans over and went, oh, great. It's like, you're a medium. And she went, no, he is. And I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? This is insane. Why have you done that? With that, the entire hall turned round to look at me. I went bright red, and I certainly weren't of a personality that was up there and could talk publicly. I'd never done any public talking. I mean, the last time I had done it was like at school when I had to read from a book or something, and even then I was terrible at it. So they were like, oh, this is great, thanks very much. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. But then, like, peer pressure, the whole audience was like, no, go on, get up, it'll be all right, we'll help you out, blah blah blah. But I'd had my fair share of training. It was good quality training, It was I had a good tutor at the time, and the presentation weren't what it was today, but it was certainly presentable. It was okay. So I had a beanie hat on. I had I remember a grey jumper, a pair of jeans, and trainers. It was like, no way. Then the dreaded statement come out. I hadn't done my hair. My hair was long at the time. It was kind of down here. And she said, I can see that you wasn't prepared for this, but can you at least remove the hat, And I was like, oh my God, I haven't even done my hair. So I'm so self-conscious about my hair, and I don't look the part, It's like tacky jeans on, tacky trainers. And it was just something that was like, I can still feel it now. My heart's racing now as I'm describing it. Then up I got, you know, had to do an opening prayer, had to do a 10-15 minute philosophy. But lucky for me, I think my philosophy was kind of on its way, because I was reading a ridiculous amount of Silver Birch books, and then a demonstration. I was comfortable with my relationship with the spirit world, because it was kind of like 10, 11 months of intensive training with that. I sat most days, and I worked like 2-3 times a week at Circle. I definitely weren't doing private sit-ins, and I'd never done any kind of public work in the classroom or in a hall. And here I have 40 plus people staring at you like, go on in, let's see what you got, kind of thing. But I think the evening went well. I don't think I needed a sympathetic audience. They were very kind, but they said no when it was no, and they said yes when it was yes, and I'm happy to say there was a lot more yeses than there was no's. But it was one of those experiences that it was like, oh my God, and now I can still feel it now. However, what then happened was, that same week, obviously, I was going out Sunday, I was going out Tuesday and Wednesday maybe. So on the Tuesday, I turned up to another venue for their evening of clairvoyance. Medium didn't turn up, so second dem in a week. Then Wednesday, third dem in a week. The medium just stopped showing up. Everywhere I went, the medium didn't turn up. I started to get frightened to go out to a demonstration just in case the medium didn't turn up. So, and then the following Sunday, the medium didn't turn up. So it was 4 in like 8 days, 4 dems in 8 days. First out, so straight out the door. That's what I done, 4 dems in 1 week. Off those 4, I think I took 4 bookings off of each demonstration that I had done. Not for the same centre, but from other centres that were attending the centre for that evening. So the first one I took 4, the second one I took 4, third 4, fourth and 4. So that was 16 dems I had at the back end of the year. And then those 16 turned into something like 40, 50 dems because of the same scenario for the following year. And then that year, I think I clocked 120 demonstrations. To now, where I'm at now, where I do at least 200 a year, church demonstrations. So the legwork has been, you know, unbelievable, really. I learn every single time. I don't stop learning. I feel like my presentations got better, or my my communication aspect and getting an audience to understand it has got much better. But you know, it's an ongoing process, you know, and I do my much bigger venues now, but I still do the churches. I've still got 200 in the diary there for this and next year. It's one of those processes. So be careful what you wish for, I think, is a good statement. Because once I started, it was like, right, I've got someone that will listen. I can help people here, and then I kind of wanted it a little bit more. So definitely be careful what you wish for. But a great training ground, so straight out there. I didn't go out as a fledgling, it kind of just happened. I've never once asked for a booking. I never will ask for a booking. And I allow the word of mouth aspect of it to take hold and sort of unfold in that way. So if the phone ever stopped ringing, I would not be demming, because I will not ask in that sense. So take something from that. You don't need to be writing letters or ringing churches. If your mediumship's of a level, they'll invite you there. You never know, the medium might not turn up. If that has ever happened to you, let me know in the comment box. I would be really interested in hearing your version of events. But that's my first demonstration, and here we are now with what I do now. So I hope there's something you can take from that. Not really my kind of video, but it was asked by a viewer, and as always, I try to fulfill my obligation on the channel of, if a viewer asks in the comments, I will try and create a video for it. So I hope I've answered it for you. So until next time, hit that like button, you know, because it really, really does help my channel. It helps it in the algorithm. I do need you to subscribe, hit that notification bell if you do want to be notified of the next upload. And until next time, see you then.